Hi, my name's Aidan. I identify as non-binary, trans-masculine, and some of you are probably wondering what non-binary means. Well, binary genders are usually considered to be man and woman, male and female. Non-binary genders are any gender outside of that, so gender fluid, gender queer, agender, just any like gender variant. Even some drag queens might consider themselves to be gender variant. So that comes to what the difference is between identity and presentation. Your identity is how you identify deep down. Like one day I use either he, him, or they, them pronouns, and some days I might feel like dressing up, like putting on makeup, but that doesn't change who I am on the inside. My presentation doesn't change my identity from day to day. Now some people might be gender fluid and like to use she, her pronouns on some days when they're feeling more feminine, and he, him pronouns on some days when they're feeling more masculine, and that's totally up to them. Okay, so I was asked if I gravitated towards, I suppose, masculine toys as a child. And I would say that I definitely played with a wide spectrum of toys. I like to play with Legos and boy toys. I also like to play with dolls, but mostly I just like to go outside and get dirty, which I guess is kind of a little boy thing, but I don't know, I still like to, come in and take a bath and play with my dolls, but I'm just a feminine guy and I probably always will be. I was asked about Caitlyn Jenner, and obviously, first of all, I would love to congratulate her because it's a huge step for anybody to come out, especially when you're in the public eye like that. It's very nerve-wracking, I can only imagine. But on a certain level, it does play down the struggle of real-life trans people and what we're going through day to day, which the reality of being a trans person in America is that most states don't have any laws protecting you from losing your job or otherwise being discriminated against. So coming out in reality can be really, really scary, and you don't know how people are going to react and what people you might lose, because definitely there's going to be people that don't want to be around you anymore, and that's just the reality of it. But I want to talk about pronouns because pronouns are really, really important to some people. They're pretty important to me. I don't take the time out of my day to correct every stranger that I meet. It's just not worth the struggle because really the struggle with pronouns really is, do I take this situation and make it like a 15-minute conversation, like telling you why you should call me this and justifying myself, or should I just go along with it? But definitely if you know somebody's preferred pronouns are different from what you think they would be, and a safe thing to do is just to not assume anybody's pronouns and just stick with they, them pronouns if you're unsure, because that's definitely safe. But if you're in a room and you have a trans friend and you see somebody mispronouncing them, and you can see visibly that they're getting uncomfortable, you should step in and probably, be like, oh hey, just so you know, he uses he, him pronouns, or she uses she, her pronouns, and that just really takes a lot of the weight off your trans friends' shoulders, because it's really nerve-wracking, and they're sitting there trying to decide, do I even want to do this? And if somebody else does it for you, it's just it's pretty amazing. Right. If you have a family member that comes out to you, definitely that can be really, really devastating for a family member. I've experienced it firsthand, and a lot of the times your first reaction is going to be something that you're going to probably look back on and say, wow, I probably overreacted, because over time you'll be able to, adjust to this change, because it really doesn't change your sibling or your daughter or your son. They're the same person. They might look a little different, sound a little different. You might have to call them something different, but in the end, they're the same exact person. So it's just important to remember that. When did I realize that I wasn't a girl? I'd say I wasn't it was kind of a slow realization. It was after, I guess, I dated my first girlfriend, and I just kind of came into being taking on a more masculine role for myself, and became a little bit more comfortable with it, that I realized that I was, always more comfortable that way. I don't know. I haven't taken any measures to transition physically, and that's another important thing to note, is that not everybody does, or they might plan to at some point, but then might not be the time, because it is a very it's a big expense. And that's another thing about Caitlyn Jenner, is with that she was able to be like fully transition and look like a woman, and automatically like conforming to cisnormative being cisgender. Cisgender meaning not transgender. Cisnormative beauty standards that a lot of transgender people can't live up to, and that doesn't make their gender identity any less valid. For sure, because not everybody can afford to transition, and not everybody feels like it's the right thing for them, and that's totally cool. Right, so I just want to give some advice for transgender people or gender variant people that are still in the closet. Definitely you need to make sure that you're ready and take your time, really, because there's going to be some hardships, and if you're not emotionally prepared to deal with a little bit of backlash, it's going to be bad. But there's always, on the flip side of that, there's definitely always people there in communities, online, in your community, that'll be there for you when some people aren't. And so coming out is a great relief, but it can be really scary, and I'll always be there for you.